You will hear a radio interview with singer Lily Alonso. For questions 1 to 7, choose the best answer, A, B or C. You now have 1 minute to look at part 4.
I'm very pleased to have with me this afternoon Lily Alonso, and I'll be asking her about how she prepares for a concert. The first and most obvious question, Lily, is whether you get a bit tense before you perform.
It depends when and where, really. If you're talking about several hours ahead of a show, then yes, I often am. Though once or twice I felt quite confident at that point because it's a place I'd played before and the show had gone well. But if you mean when I'm just about to go on stage, then I'm probably a bit fed up with hanging around and I just want to get on with it and see how it goes.
Do you have any particular way of making yourself feel more relaxed?
In my early days, I was in a band and we were always telling each other jokes and having a good laugh, and that certainly helped. But now I'm solo, I spend a few minutes taking some calm, slow breaths, not too deep. I've heard yoga helps too, though I've never actually tried it.
And on the day of the show, do you practice everything on the stage first?
I always go there, but just to get the feel of moving around it, making a mental note of how many steps I can take in any direction. I want songs to sound fresh when I do them, which they don't if you've been singing them all day. And I find the quickest way to forget the words is to keep trying to remember them.
What do you do after that?
I often go and take a seat in one of the front rows, where the audience will be watching me in the evening.
Why do you do that?
I try to imagine myself up there later on, giving a really great performance, fans clapping and cheering, things like that. Whether or not that actually happens, it certainly makes me feel I can do it, and that's the important thing. Then I go back to my dressing room, which is usually nice and quiet, and get ready.
Do you have people to help you with that?
Well, I normally have my makeup done for me, and if they need doing, my nails too. Someone always used to do my hair for me too, but I was never entirely happy with the way it looked, so nowadays I tell them I'd rather they left it to me.
And how do you decide what to wear?
Some things are easier to choose than others. Shoes, for instance. I have my favourite pair, and that's that. For trousers too, I know pretty well in advance which I'm going to wear on any given night. But I've got so many t-shirts that there are times I can't make my mind up, and I get one of the assistants to pick one.
Do you ever wear anything that brings you luck? I ask because quite a few performers I've spoken to seem to do that.
Yes, I know what you mean. One of the girls I used to sing with simply wouldn't go on stage without her lucky earring. Just one. She'd lost the other, unfortunately. In my case, it's a bracelet, though for years I always wore a special necklace that I was convinced brought me good luck during live performances.
And one final question, what do you drink before you perform?
Well, sometimes when you're tired in the middle of a tour, you're tempted to have a nice cup of coffee, but that's not good for your voice because it dries out your mouth and throat. Tea and cola are also best avoided for the same reason, whereas milk leaves a thin layer of fat there, which doesn't help either. Though that can be cleared by having a glass of freshly squeezed lemon or orange. So that's what I'd recommend. Or, if it's not available, just a simple glass of water.
Thank you, Lily, and good luck with your next tour.
Thanks.